The most prestigious Czech and Slovak virtual racing series is back. The best drivers from Czechia and Slovakia, competing in 12 races on iRacing. Who is going to win the championship trophy? That's Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP 2021. Hello and welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP 2021 season. After an amazing season in 2020, we're continuing with iRacing and have some new drivers and teams to shake things up in 2021. One thing that's staying the same, however, is the voices you'll be hearing. My name is Justin Sutton, and as usual, I am joined by Chris Buxton.
Glad to be back once again for what is no doubt going to be an amazing season. 22 drivers, 11 teams, all 12 races are going to be online this time. 15 minutes quali will be then followed by the 55-minute race. Again, we're seeing the GT3 and the single-seated cars make up the amazing racing that we will all enjoy. Standing starts except for Daytona. Well, come on, you can't do a standing start Daytona. It's against the law. No assist allowed, same as last time, except for automatic clutch, and the GT3 get ABS and traction control. The Indy cars have all the control under the right foot of the driver. Mandatory pit stop, same as before. The fuel tank limit has been raised a little bit. Generally, very similar to last year. The prizes are like so, Justin.
Yeah, the first place prize is a 1-year rental of a brand new Mercedes A-Class. Everybody loves that. Everybody wants that Mercedes-Benz A-Class. They're going to be working very hard. Second place, AMG Driving Academy as well. So we've got money this year as well, too, so you can have a look and see what these guys will be earning this year in terms of cash payouts as well. So things are getting shaken up just a little bit here. It's still going to be a tough-fought season for all of the drivers. They're going to be working harder than ever to get those good results across this season.
Kicking off the season is the mighty GT3. We are familiar with this beast. 6.2 litres of roaring, naturally aspirated V8 Mercedes power. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3 seconds. Considering it's 1,300 kilos, that is no slouch at all. 740 brake horsepower under the right foot of our drivers. That is going to be amazing to see.
The IndyCar also quite a weapon, 700 horsepower and just under 800 kilograms. A 2.2-liter V6 twin turbo, absolutely incredibly fast machine. And these guys are going to be in for a heck of a time trying to control it. We saw it a little bit last year. So, as I mentioned earlier on, we've got some new teams, but Benzina here is one team that is not new. This year, Peter Kujela and Martin Nedlick is going to be taking over this year. So a little bit of a change up there, but yeah, again, a familiar team. We've got the ESET guys as well, Thomas Corney and Martin Sirotek going to be driving for that one. A very familiar livery on that one, Chris.
Yeah, we saw that one do very, very well last time out. Some more familiar names. It's the Prachada brothers back with us once again with a new team. ERT Racing are joining the VGP lineup. Really looking forward to see how the Prachada brothers battle with this fine beast. Thomas Horror and Aldrich Stepanovsky return to us. They're sticking true to the Big Shock team. So again, looking forward to seeing their progress through the field this time around.
Another very familiar livery on that one as well, too. Here's a new one, though, Entropic with Łukasz Postada and Michael Matusek. Is a very, very pretty car. I have to say, I really like the green highlighting on that one. It's yeah, it's one that's kind of stuck out for me in the on the Legion team, though. Eric Vizzi and Lukasz Rosowski, taking over on that side, and another fantastic-looking car, though.
That it is. New team and new drivers join us with the Mecha All for Sim team with Michael Lehmann and Martin Krecha handling this one. I mean, they're all fantastically turned out, but yeah, some do look a little bit finer than others. Ricard, also a new team with us with Honza Reiger and Lubomir Moric.
Love that Rec Kart car. Oh, and a lovely blue here with Peter Kovarik and Martin Svoboda in the Victoria VR car. Another newcomer for this season, and another one that is looking absolutely fantastic. Electra as well, with a great-looking car. Senol is going to be partnering the newcomer of Donda on that team.
Two familiar names with a familiar team. TP Link have Jan Seeker and Thomas Prohaska. Again, that's very similar to what they ran before, and can't wait to see them on track. This is what we have. It's Imola that's seeing the season opener again. 26 degrees air temperature, 40 degrees track. Lovely, beautiful Italian weather greeting our drivers and welcoming in the 2021 Mercedes Virtual GP season.
Łukasz Pochada taking that pole position for the very first race alongside Nadlik. 142.1 from both of them. Extremely, extremely close. A rookie last season, Eric Vizzi, lining up third. He was very, very competitive last season. Not surprised to see him, but he is alongside Matoshek, one of the new drivers. David Pochada down in fifth. So both the Pochada brothers making it into the top five. Postada in sixth position. Here's just a look at the rest of the drivers, but we can see already straight out of the gate, we're seeing that these rookies are on the pace with the rest of the drivers. I'm surprised Thomas Corney actually outside the top 10, down in 11th with a 142.6, but you can see only half a second off the pole time, and that lands him outside the top 10. Thomas Prohaska, a veteran of the league, down in 16th position. He's a little bit further off the pace, and then we can see a bit more of a gap starting to form. Some more of the rookies at the back. Stepanovsky seemingly struggling in qualifying a little bit there as well. So that is how they will line up for the grid today. We're preparing to go racing for the opening round of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP season. The engines are revving, the lights are coming on, we're preparing to go. Again, it's going to be a standing start for all the races this year except for round 2 at Daytona, and it's a green light, and they're away on iRacing. Ooh, a few drivers with some really poor starts in the background there. A great start for our pole sitter, though. Pochada with a great getaway. Looks like he is going to have no problems through the first few corners. The Entropic guys, the Entropic guys going on the attack there. Oh, we've got a couple of spinners, actually, and that is going to cause some damage. Hopefully nobody is going to be out of the race, but that's definitely going to be a problem for a few drivers here.
That's a huge shake-up of the grid then that's gone on. Quite a number of cars have fallen through the field. One of the leading drivers there, as you can see, has had a bad run of it. That was Eric Vizzi. Oh, considering how strong he was towards the tail end of last season, that is a huge shame. But Łukasz Pochada took off like he'd just been stabbed. His incredible start that he had from the pole. And safety cars, I'm not surprised. There was such a huge amount of carbon fibre being shed from these cars. I'm not surprised that the safety cars are. But Łukasz Pochada would not be pleased. Nearly a second from Martin Nadling, who's not too common in these spots. I have seen Nadling before, more on the GTE side of things, which is obviously very similar to these 223 cars. I'm also very interested to see how he does when we switch over to the Indy cars. That's not a happy-looking Big Shot car. Thomas Horror, that's a very redesigned number 48 there. But David Pochada, the whole field are bookended by Pochada brothers. Yes, that's not gone well for David, unfortunately.
That's very, that's not typical of the Pachada brothers either. They, as we've seen in the past, they are very similarly paced. So yeah, you know something has gone wrong if you see them like that, with one leading the way and the other way down the order in the pits in 22nd position. Really unfortunate, but Lucas Pachada, yeah, with that absolutely incredible start, Matošek as well, and Podstata. We've got, again, new drivers, so we're learning the new pronunciations, which we've got a little bit of a teething process ahead of us, but we're going to get through it as we do every year as we learn about all of these incredible drivers. But yeah, the Entropic guys with a great start now find themselves in 3rd and 4th position. So one of them on the podium and the other one just outside of it, which is great news for them too. To have your teammate alongside you like that is extremely helpful in these sorts of races. So it's just that little bit of insurance to have that rear gunner behind you. And of course, Podstata is going to just, he's going to be that little bit more cautious. He's going to think twice before any sort of dive bombs on Matošek up ahead in 3rd position. So it's good news for them. We're still under yellows at the moment. Looks like Pachada's still in the pits. We're just praying, though, that he can get that car repaired to get back out on track.
And there we go, the field then forming up behind the safety car. So, yeah, it is a shame, but I'd rather saw that coming. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the Entropic pair. Both newcomers, Matošek and Podstata, having a great run there, 3rd and 4th in a prime position to attack. Fellow newcomer Nadley and also VTB veteran of Lucas Pachada. Yeah, the top 3 of the grid was separated by less than 1/10 of a second in qualifying. That's a wonderful thing to start the season with. And these tracks that we're running on are generally quite popular with all of our drivers across the field. Here is the start. So the top. So there was a tap. It's the number 17 Legion car that went round. But that was the problem. That was where David Pachada met with one of the big shot cars. You can't steer that, so any wonder that had to be recovered back to the pits immediately. There was no way he was going to be able to drive that. It's such a shame for David Pachada. We've seen great things from him, and wow, Lucas Pachada is trying to overtake the safety car. That won't go well for you if you do that, sir. But I mean, Eric Vizzi down there in 20th. I mean, he will be very thankful for the safety car. That, of course, bunches the field up. We saw wonderful things from him. Lenovo Legion of a great signing, and there he is. Currently in 20th position with Newcomb and Lehman right behind. So right now we haven't really seen anything of anybody just yet. In fairness, other than that absolutely incredible start from Lucas Pachada. There is the other Pachada brother, who doesn't look like he's in a hurry to go anywhere. I think if you recover to the pits, you're going to be in there for quite a while anyway. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see David back out. Is that one of the Entropics in? No, it's Rozovsky. Sorry, it's one of the Legion cars that has come in. Now, he is a mandatory pit stop. He's opted to serve it now. Actually, so Stepanovsky, but Stepanovsky did have damage. So does the Legion car. That's why. Also, Lehman has come in as well. Fastest lap, well, that's a little pointless to display. Behind the safety car. Whoops, Rozovsky didn't quite hit his marks there. So I imagine that fastest lap's going to keep changing hands for a while. Yep, there we go. So yeah, a few people having to pit because of damage. I mean, you see quite a few rearranged cars, but that's going to hurt with the field bunched up. But if they're able to get back out and get back on with it with the with the field bunched up, if they can get out with the safety car still out there, then they'll just rejoin the back of the Crocodile with their mandatory pit stop served. So it could well serve well for them later in the race. It really depends on how long the safety car is back. The lights look like they're off on the safety cars, so it is not going to be out there for very much longer. Rozovsky, Lehman and Stepanovsky have opted to take their pit stop now. We'll see how well that... that's not a surprise. David Pachada sadly having to retire from the race. I mean, he took a hell of a crack in the face, didn't he, from Stepanovsky's car. So, one Pachada down, but the other one leading the way.
And looking very strong, as you said. He's one of the few drivers that we've really gotten a feel for so far. Because, that was an absolutely incredible qualifying session from him as well. Great start. And I will say this, though, the safety car and the issues that we saw and the fact that Eric Vizzi is now down in 18th position could be good news for us as fans of just excitement. It could be good news for the spectators as we get to see them try and fight back from the rear of the field. However, this is Imola. This is, you know, not the easiest track to overtake. Imola is not super easy. It's very, very difficult to make overtakes here. Overtaking locations are extremely limited, and you sometimes have to kind of make space,
yeah,
which can be a little bit difficult. So Eric Vizzi's going to need. He's going to need a little bit of a hand from the drivers ahead of him. You know, if they decide to fight him too hard, then it could cause a lot of problems for him if he wants to try and really score, you know, a good result here today. He may just be looking to try and pick up as many positions as he can, get into the top 15, because that is where you earn points, is in the top 15 here at the Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP 2021 season. So could be that's his goal, but I would imagine he's really going to be pushing hard. I mean, he qualified so well, and he's so far down now that he could be aiming higher than just the top 15. He could be aiming higher than just some points. And he did stay out, though, did Eric Vizzi, if I'm not mistaken, right? He hasn't been into the pits, so he does have to come in like the rest of the drivers. He's not going to attempt what would effectively become a zero stop, essentially. So, but we're getting ready to go back racing. The yellow flag period coming to an end now. Lucas Pichata will lead the way. It will be his foot on the throttle as he determines when this race gets going. Once again, there he goes. I think he's making a break for it. It's a good restart, a very good restart for Lucas Pichata. You can see already a gap starting to form between himself and the Benzina behind in second position. Matoshek looks like he got a much better start than his teammate, but Stada down in fourth position. He's coming under attack from Corny in the ESET car as they get down through turn one, down towards turn two. They're going to be side by side, inside line for the Entropic car, outside line for the ESET car. They do manage to avoid colliding with one another, and they will continue as they were. The two ESET cars running right behind the two Entropic cars.
Well driven then on the restart. Yeah, Lucas Pichata timed that perfectly. Nadley was trying to, you know, encourage Lucas to get on with it, but as Martin came off the gas, Lucas absolutely stomped on it. But Martin Nadley hasn't wasted any time in closing the ERT Racing now lead car. You know, right back down again. Of course, he's being chased by the Entropic pair. Matuszek is there. I would imagine he's not really feeling the pressure from Pastada behind, who himself is fending off both the ESET cars. Thomas Corney doing what he can to try and keep the pressure on the current fourth place runner. And look at the distance in the top two. There's not a lot in it. Matuszek slightly further behind. Everybody really getting back into their rhythm now. You know, anytime you have one of the safety cars come out, anytime you have something that upsets the racing rhythm, you've got to refine it again, settle the nerves back down, especially if you're a newcomer to this series. Oh wow, that would look like now the ESETs are swapping around. Oh, is Corny in trouble because is he letting somebody else through? Is Corny in trouble? It could well be. He may well have just gone a bit. If he's done that, that's a Variante Alta. It's very, very easy to run too wide there. And the delta, because we're very early in the race, that delta is painful to have to let go, so he doesn't incur a penalty. Unsurprisingly, Lucas Pichata now sets the representative fastest lap. He's actually nearly got himself a second over Martin Nadley, so that hasn't gone well for him in the second half of the lap, as we see Senel get up into 9th position. Then Thomas Corney still falling through the field. Now that's Thomas Prohaska, the TP-Link car behind. Actually, both TP-Link cars are there. Well, considering the Prohaska and Secra, then they start near the back of the field, so they've had a great run through the pack.
Yeah, I think Corney's slowdown penalty basically caught up with him. Even it continued all the way onto the main straight, essentially. Although he might be looking at an opportunity here. He's flashing the lights at the Electra up ahead. He's down in the 10th position, but he knows he's got great pace. He's going to look for the inside line through the left-hander. That's going to put him a little bit wide at the exit, and that could put him under attack from Thomas Prohaska and the TP-Link behind in 11th position. On board with Thomas Corney in that ESET car through the double right-handers of Aqua Minerale and up the hill down towards Variante Alta. And I don't think he's going to be... I think he's going to be taking it easy through it this time. He really doesn't want another slowdown penalty because that was absolutely terrible, losing him a handful of penalties. But it was great the way that he got out of the way for his teammate. Sirotech was able to slip by nice and easily. Krejci, by the way, up in 6th position, a rookie in a rookie team as well, and is sniffing at the top 5. So a great start for Krejci here. He's not far off the lead, but yeah, as you pointed out before, Chris, Lucas Pichata with that 1 second gap. Well, it's come down a little bit. It's 8.5 tenths down to Nadlik, so it's come down ever so slightly, but he is looking pretty strong out there. Oh, loving the sound of the V8s as they go underneath the bridge there on the main straight.
Yeah, you and me both. I am grinning to the symphony that is all the German horses, 700 plus horsepower in each unit. So, yeah, that's a lot of horses galloping around the Italian countryside at the moment and loving every single sound of it. So, Brachada leads Nadlik, leads Matuszek, leads Podstata at the moment. The top 4 as the ESET car. That's Corny getting a tiny bit deep through Toza. He could be just trying to get a bit of a run on the electric car ahead of him. That is Senol. But it's not. Oh, that's not good. That's well, I don't think I need to explain what that is. That's one of our rookies. One of our rookies, Swoboda, has sadly detonated that engine. It has not gone well for him. Again, newcomer in the Victoria and Dexvin. Victoria VR and Dexvin team. That's an unfortunate demise there, but clearly the early damage suffered by that car was too much to deal with. Lovely heli shot of 2nd, 3rd and 4th here. That's Nadlik, Matuszek and Podstata in that order. Now a second's gap up the road to Lucas Machado. Should just about see him. There he is, just at the top of the shot there. And then right behind them is the second ESET car of Sirotech. Lovely shot here as we come out of Ravazza. The lead Entropic car, Matuszek, keeping the pressure on Martin Nadlik in the moment, but Nadlik knows what these cars are capable of and knows this track very, very well. Matuszek could try a bit of a move. It would be a little bit desperate if he tries a move into Traguardo. Doesn't go for it, quite wisely so. He still has his rear gunner there to keep Sirotech in check, but this is going to be a race of patience if nothing else. Yeah, like you said earlier, Justin, is not the easiest place in the world to overtake. Yeah, the big braking zones don't have very big straights that precede them, so you're relying on a mistake, or they're going to have to get their elbows out, which of course you can do in the GT3 cars. But yeah, this is going to be more about patience than anything else, as we just see Senol defending from Thomas Corny, and that'll compromise him a little bit coming out of Toza, but not too much. The field's still quite heavily bunched up.
Eric Vizzi already up into a points-paying position, by the way. He's found himself into 15th with that Lenovo Legion car. And again, we're having a look at Thomas Corny in 10th position. Well, at the moment, we're actually looking at Senol in the Electra, but Thomas Corny in 10th is the driver that slipped outside of that top 5 with that mistake not that long ago. And you can clearly see that he's got a lot more confidence in this car as he's really attacking the Electra here. Is he going to try to go side-by-side through the chicane? He's going to be really wary about that after picking up the time penalty. As you can see, the car is using all of the curbing there through both parts of the chicane. Switching over to the other ESET car of Sirotech, still running around in 5th position and running at the back of the Entropic cars. Meanwhile, Lucas Pichata had that gap was getting bigger. It was about 1.5 seconds or so. It's actually come down. Potentially, though, he might be really thankful to the Entropic guys if they start to really start to bother Nadlik for that 2nd place position. That could be exactly what Lucas Pichata needs to break away.
Very, very true, but also the team points is looking very, very strong for Entropic at the moment. That's Corny again, trying to make the move on Senol. These two have crossed swords on the VTP battle wheel before, side by side, coming into Jakarta, but no, the 52 can't do it. He's well, he can't do it just yet. He's then going to try and switch back underneath the electric car, heading down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Can he get alongside enough to try and make it stick? Well driven from both of them. No impact there. And there's another one. There's Eric Vizzi. That well, actually, Vizzi's got the ringside seat of the battle ahead of him. That's Sika and Kujela that are having an argument for 13th position. And there doesn't look like there's a lot of damage on the Lenovo Legion car. The same can't be said for Kujela's Benzina Roland car, who's really hassling Jan Sikora in the TP Link 13th place car at the moment. That's a great racing. Again, this is why I was referring about patience. Eric Vizzi knows that he can't realistically just banzai that at every opportunity. It does look like he's got the pace on the two ahead of him. He's just got to get the timing right. Oh, again, see, he just had the pace, but nowhere to use it. There's no way you're making a move into, well, not in the middle of Acqua Minerale. Oh, is he going to try an inside maneuver coming into Variante Alta? No, again, I think he's just showing his nose, saying, come on, I'm a bit quicker than you. I mean, it's not like Kujella is obliged to let him go. Now looking back from Senol, he's had that blue nose staring at him all race long so far. I mean, I would imagine Thomas Corney's been close enough to Senol for a while now. He knows what colour underpants that Corney is at, that Senol rather has got on board. He's been that close for so long. But even still, over the line once again. Now the slipstream's going to kick in. Can Thomas Corney do anything about it before they get to Trigado again? Flashing the lights. Well, you can. It doesn't really earn you anything. It's a distraction technique. It should only really be used if you're lapping a car, but it is commonly used as a distraction technique. That's the battle for 13th again. Oh, Seeker has got that one wrong. He's hit the apex. Here comes Vizzi. Can he do anything about it? No, again. He can just... he had the pace at the wrong time. He just could not deploy the horses when he desperately needed it. But again, well driven from all three of them.
Sikora is driving really defensive here, and it is keeping him that 13th position, but also it's causing them to lose a lot of time to Hora in the big shock up in 12th position. You can see it's growing and growing. It's now more than 5 seconds, actually, is the gap. So Thomas Hora really enjoying quite a bit of a gap behind him at the moment, really under no pressure whatsoever. He's got about 1.5 seconds to the car up ahead as well, as Vizzi really drops off the back there through a few of those corners. So I wonder if he's just setting something up here, but I imagine it's got to be so frustrating for him. Down in 15th position, he knows he's got that pace to be on the podium, no doubt about it. And again, you can see the TP Link car going incredibly defensive, and it's just really slowing all of these guys down. Oh, that's a bit wide there for the Benzina car of Kujella, but no, it's not going to be an open door invitation for Eric Vizzi to try and take that spot, but it's given a little bit of breathing room to Sikora in the TP Link car up ahead, so he doesn't have to go defensive for a few corners for once, so I imagine he'll be happy about that. But this is going to put Kujella under attack from Vizzi. Vizzi, I would say, is very clearly the fastest of the 3 drivers so far from what we've seen. I think Kujella is definitely faster than Sikora, but he's having a bit of a bear of a time trying to overtake. Let's see if Vizzi can try anything into Tamburello here. No, he's going to be a couple of car lengths back as they get into the braking zone there. And that is the other Lenovo Legion car, Rosovsky. Oh, there we go. This could be another opportunity, but no, he had to get on the brakes while he was on the apex just to avoid running into the back of the Benzina Orlin car. So that's not ideal for Eric Vizzi. Again, he's got to be getting super frustrated here, but I have to say, Chris, this is one of the reasons I really like him as a driver. He's taking his time. He's waiting for the right moment. He's not just barging his way through.
Yeah, he really was one of the few to put real pressure on our champion from last season, who's sadly not with us this time around. But he knows how to drive these things well. You can see the bonnet of his car. He's got damage himself, which will be just helping him, hindering him at the crucial times he needs to try and make the move on the Benzina car ahead of him. So he's just suffering so badly. But he's not giving up. He's pressing on as best he can, and fair play to him. You could have understood if he'd, starting as high up as he did, and then falling through an incident. He could have chucked the towel in. He's been around the block, or around the VGP block enough times to know how things work and know that you can recover from bad starts and things like that. But as you say, that must be very frustrating. Just getting the power, or getting the run and using the power at a time when he cannot utilize it properly to get past Kujella, who's doing a great job in keeping the pressure on the TP Link car ahead of him, Jan Sikora, and keeping Vizzi behind him. Yeah, Kujella is in one of the worst possible situations where you're attacking and defending all at the same time, and he's doing a great job, actually. The fact that he's managed not to be overtaken by Eric Vizzi, but I imagine he, too, is probably getting pretty frustrated here. What he would love to do here is to put
Secra between himself and Vizzy and try to build a little bit of a gap if he possibly can. He knows that Secra is good at defending. We'll probably see the TP link car go defensive again into this left-hander, and again you see the TP link car of Secra just staying sort of to the middle of the track and just saying, well, do your best. And you can see in the background there, actually, there's another three-way battle going on behind. That's for 16th position. That's for just outside the points-paying positions.
Yes, Kvarik, Stepanovsky, and Moritz, they're involved in that wonderful scrap going on here. Here we go again, down towards Akramida. Raleigh! Oh, Eric Vizzy trying to come up with a different way of getting past the widest car in the world at the moment, right ahead of him. It is possible to do an inside maneuver on the inside of Akramida. You just have to commit to it very, very early and hope that the guy that you're passing has seen you coming. Oh, Kuzjala, good catch. But unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Eric Vizzy, Eric again had to get out of that to save from piling into the boot of the benzene rolling car, but still keeping the pressure on. We haven't seen any major impacts, although that was very, very close. Fair play to them all, and still Kuzjala is just about hanging on to the back. Oh, well, there is Eric Vizzy. So, you can see he's getting very fidgety in his seat. And, whoa, that was a big defensive move there from Kuzjala. Oh, look at the force Eric to the grass. I know still Eric Vizzy has been kept at bay.
I gotta say, that is hugely impressive stuff from Kuzjala. We know how good Eric Vizzy is. By the way, I don't think he's indicating anything with his fingers that we're seeing. I think he just uses that finger to upshift. So if you're noticing a particular finger in that webcam, I think that's just coincidence. Oh, there we go, side by side through the left-hander of Tosa. They're still side by side. Oh, but onto the grass goes Kuzjala, and that is finally going to be 14th position for Eric Vizzy in the Lenovo Legion car, and I imagine that's going to be a great opportunity for him as well to take that 13th position. I imagine he's going to be thinking he's got a great shot to pick up that spot on Secra, but look at that. Look at the gap to Hora now. What was it before? 5 seconds? It's now nearly 11 seconds. That's how much time Eric Vizzy lost behind Jan Secra, so he's going to be frustrated about that, but still got more than half an hour of racing to go. So plenty of opportunities for him to claw back more time, more positions, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, up at the front, the two Entropics, led by Matuszek, but Stada right behind him. They've lost a little bit of time. Nadlik is now breaking away from those two. He's still within 1 second of Lucas Pichata. So the top two starting to break away a little bit, and this could be an opportunity for Sirotech. If I'm Sirotech, certainly I'm going to be wondering what's going on here. Why are we all of a sudden losing time to P2? And is that an open invitation for me to possibly make an overtake? Also, will we start to see any sort of pit stops? It's a new season, new rules, new regulations. So we can only guess and estimate and all those kinds of things when it comes to when these guys will come into the pits, but maybe we might see somebody such as Sirotech who feels that maybe he's stuck behind a couple of cars. Maybe we'll start to see those drivers start to come in for their one stop.
Could well do. But we will see. Only they know what they have in mind. Also bear in mind Sirotech's car is a little bit damaged. That bonnet is not completely flat. It doesn't seem to be bothering him an awful lot though. As he is keeping very much attached to the tail of Podstarter. As we have a lovely backward shot from Matuszek looking at the pair of cars I've just mentioned. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the gap between Martin Nadlik and Lucas Pichata. It's hovering between 7 and 9 tenths at the moment. But we'll see if Martin is able to close in any more on Lucas as the race goes on. Here we are. Lowest, what is now, four-way fight for 7th. Danda, one of our newcomers, Alesh Danda in the Electra team. And there is, he's in VR. That's not a mask. He's not trying to get to sleep. That's a VR headset he's got going on. I'd love to see the driver's eye view from that one. We did see it briefly last season. I believe it was actually Carney when we saw. So, yeah, so he's nailed to the back of a new team, new driver, Ricard Sim and Ryger, respectively. As Ryger's gone very defensive, and Carney's going to try an outside maneuver into Tricato. Yeah, that's going to sacrifice his entry through it, and he just about manages to fend off Senol behind him in the other electric car. There, you just saw the back of the shot was Thomas Prohaska in the lead TP Link car. But yeah, Thomas Carney is working hard to maintain the pressure on Ryger. Had a bit of a look on the inside. Ooh, it gets a bit hairy if you sort of show your nose on the way down to Tozer and then jump back to the racing line. It's very easy to get that all crossed up and all wrong. But back up the hill again towards Piratella, and again you see how very defensive Ryger is feeling the need to go. And here comes Senol as well. Can he make the move? No, not quite. It's the ESEC guy going to try and make a move. Well, this is a fight we love to see. It's terrifying me in the midst of a fight where you're defending 1 minute and fighting the next, but it's great for us spectators. And of course, we commentators have the wonderful honour of being able to shout our lungs off about it. Again, you can just see the positioning of Ryger's car. He's really defensive as they nudge one another coming through the Variante Alta. Corney is really pressing on to try and get past Ryger. But Ryger's just positioning his car perfectly to keep the ESEC car at bay.
Really impressive stuff from Jan Rieger. Again, this is a rookie. This is a newcomer, and he's doing a fantastic job. Really impressive stuff to be battling like this in the top 6. Oh, here we go. Oh, this might be an open invitation for Zerotech. He's going to find the inside line. Ooh. Through the left-hander. He climbs all over the curbing, though. Kills a little bit of his momentum. And around the outside, the Entropic continues to defend that location. Meanwhile, the other ESEC car is trying to go around the outside. He gets heavy onto the curbs. Loses out. The Electra now comes alongside around the outside through the left-hander. He gets bumped off a bit into the kitty litter, onto the grass. He's going to maintain that position for the meantime, I think, is set out, but no, actually, the TP Link gets so close under the braking zone through that chicane. Senol just about manages to hang on after getting bumped off the circuit by his former car. That used to be his car that he was driving last season, and I think that is going to put him under attack from Thomas Prohaska here in the TP Link. He might be sniffing an opportunity. He looks to the right-hand side, can't go around the outside here, surely through the fast left-hander. No, he's going to stay behind for the meantime, as Senol goes a little bit deep, a little bit wide in that Electra car, and Prohaska has to maintain for the meantime, but Senol is not going to be picking up any sort of slipstream off of Corney here, so this could be a perfect opportunity for Prohaska, whose car, by the way, is looking very good. It's looking like it's in very good condition, so Prohaska might fancy his chances here.
I dare say he does. That was a great sequence of driving from both drivers there. It was so close. There might be a few words said about someone, a couple of the force wide moments, but that is GT racing. That is what happens, especially at a track like this where overtaking is so difficult. Let's look at it again from Corney's perspective. So that's where he's making the move on the recar. That's Ryger. So that's where Corney's made the mistake. And unfortunately bouncing off the curb and then shoving the electric car wide. I mean, how well held was that? Yes. That was a full rallying going on, and he held it. That could have gone so wrong. Whoa! Who was that got the tail very loose? Oh, the Zerotech. Zerotech's ESEC car got very loose, and again he held that brilliantly well to stay on the tail of Pod Starter. So that's battle for fourth still raging on. Certainly the top 3 are almost equidistant to one another now. There's about a second between each one. So there's no immediate battles there, although at one point I think Nadley was getting very close to Lucas Prachada. So the ERT racing car has, or the driver, has pushed his foot a little bit further through the firewall to try and rebuild that gap to the Benzina car. But Zerotech and Podstarter having an absolutely wonderful battle here, that's allowing Matuszek to think about trying to close in on Nadlik. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that podium battle reform towards the end. Oh no, it was Prohaska and the Teepa Link car that got all sideways. That's a shame, because he really had closed in very well on the electric car, but sadly that's undone itself for him. But still pressing on. He did lose a couple of positions, but he's pressing on nonetheless. There's Thomas Hara in the big shot car chasing Rygo, we saw dethroned from 8th position earlier on, and right behind him, that's is that Eric? That's not Eric Vizzy, beg your pardon. There's Thomas Prohaska with Eric Vizzy some way down the road, but that's Prohaska directly behind Thomas Hara at the moment.
incredible racing we're having so far. And also, again, shout out to the rookies. I mean, look at the number of rookies that we have in the top 10. Really, really impressive stuff. I mean, we got 2 of them in podium positions right now with 24 minutes of racing to go here at Imola, and another one just outside of it as well. So yeah, really, really impressive stuff. This is the battle for 14th position. It looks like Sikora maybe with a slowdown penalty. Kujela is going to pull alongside him on the run down towards turn 1. Still side by side as they make the run down towards turn 2. If he can just outbrake him a little bit here, then he can easily have the position. Yep, there we go, not side by side, and that is the position gained. And Kujela drops down into 15th, the final points-paying position. Just as a reminder for everybody, the top 15 pick up championship points. It is 1 point for 15th position. You also get 1 point for fastest lap as well, too. So possibly we might see some drivers attempting to pick up an extra championship point in that way as well. But boy, I tell you, Chris here, Kujela has had an exciting race. It's just non-stop for this guy.
Yeah, he's getting the Benzina team a lot of airtime at the moment. There's Lucas Brachado, our race leader. I won't say he's had a relaxing time because he has constantly had Martin Nadig in his mirror, so he hasn't been able to just dance off into the sunset as we've seen it in some other races last season. So I think he's constantly felt the pressure. Here we go again. This three-way battle. Now, last time it was 13, 14, 15. It's now 14th, 15th, and 16th with Lubomir Moritz that's caught the back of it. And right behind them is Stepanovsky and Lehman. So this could become a 5-way battle before the checkered flag falls. Here comes the restart car of Lubomir Moritz. As Kujela's having to be defensive, coming down into Ravazza. Can he get them and slow down? He can. But it does look like Morris is all over the back of the 34 car at the moment. That should give Jan Sikora an opportunity to stretch his legs a little bit. I mean, we all know what the slipstream is like here. It is pretty effective. Over the line once again, Kujela is going to be really feeling the pressure from Lubomir Moritz right behind him. Old Moritz thought about a move, but that door got very firmly shut in his face as we come through Trigado once again. There you saw the big Trigado. Well, there's the other one. That's Thomas Hora. That's it. It's a bit weird when you look at the webcam shot with no steering wheel in it. It's he's not driving with his mind. We do promise you there's a steering wheel under there. He's just going for an outside manoeuvre. What I said would never happen to Piratella. He's been forced into the outside move from Riga. Can he get it done before? No. Well defended from the Ricard car. That was brilliantly done right behind them. Thomas Prohaska and. Oh, there's a lapped car. That's what's confusing me. That's actually Rozovsky in the Legion car at the tail end of it. That's what kept throwing me. I mean, well, he can unlap himself. The general rule is as long as you don't impede the car you're unlapping yourself from, you're allowed to do it. Here's the previous battle we were looking at. It's now a quartet as the 17th, that's Stepanovsky in the big shot car that's now joined the back of this conga line. That was a 5-car train, I beg your pardon. Lehman is in there as well.
And I think that is why Rozovsky is still pushing so hard, because when you have battling this close and this intense up ahead of you, I mean, there's definitely several situations or scenarios that could see Rozovsky finding a championship point or two. Ooh, that could be beneficial. Oh no, I would imagine this is actually a scheduled stop for Thomas Prohaska in the TP link, so he is going to be one of the earlier pit stops. Oh, and Kujela as well. You know what, Kujela, you have earned a break, my friend. I am thrilled that he is bringing that Benzina Orlin into the pits and just getting out of that hornet's nest, because Kujela has got to be one of the sweatiest people on the planet right now with the amount of attacking and defending and simultaneous attacking and defending that he's had going on all race long. So yeah, he could really use a little bit of a break. I imagine the main reason he's pitting is probably just to wipe himself down with a towel or something. Yeah. One would assume. So, and you could absolutely forgive him. Now, Eric Vizzi in 12th position. He's about 6 seconds off of that battle between Rieger and Hora. Ooh, Moritz going very, very wide. That's going to be an open invitation for the big shot car, and that is going to actually drop Moritz down a position. So he's going to lose out to the veteran Stepanovsky. Makes his way ahead of the rookie of Moritz, and Stepanovsky now right behind that TP Link car of Sikora. Another veteran of the Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP. And is Moritz here fancying his chances? No, he's going to stay behind for the meantime through Aqua Minerale, but he is certainly looking a little bit feisty. Very similarly paced. We're seeing those guys that are battling for those final points-paying positions. It's a lot of give and take. One guy's faster, one lap, next guy's faster, another lap. It's hard to say who exactly is the quickest. Again, Eric Vizzi seemed quicker when he was in there. You could tell, you could visibly tell, but these guys, Moritz getting overtaken and then immediately onto the back of Stepanovsky right away. So yeah, we're seeing that it's very, very competitive down in that midfield. As you mentioned, Chris, though, things are a little bit more calm for our leaders. It's about 1.4 seconds between Matoshek and Nadlik, and then another 1.7 seconds, actually, to Lucas Pichata, who is still leading this race from that pole position. He got that incredible start at the beginning of the race, and he's just been controlling things very, very well. As you said, though, it hasn't all been, completely easy. He's clearly not holding back. He's still pushing Artie. He's still pushing, putting in good lap times, making sure that he's not coming under attack from the Benzina car behind. And well deserved as well. You can see his car, no damage either. Again, that's a benefit of the pole position and the great start that he's had. Really just has not come under any attack. He's been under pressure, but no side-by-side.
Very true, and a fantastic beard in the shot as well.
Yes, yes.
I salute the fellow beard wearer.
Yes.
Jan Seeger has been in the pits for a while. Now, as a reminder, they don't have to change tyres. They don't have to do anything like that. If they feel the need to take on fuel, they can do. But there's no necessity. The only necessity is they have to make a stop. What they do in the stop is entirely up to them. The Jan Seeger seemed to be in there quite a long time, so he may well have had damage. Well, quite a bit of damage that wasn't always immediately visible as we now look at the battle for, well, was a battle for 10th as Thomas Horror in the big shot car comes in. You can see that that bonnet is heavily reshaping. That doesn't necessarily mean it's very heavily damaged, but there is clearly damage to that car that may not be helping him. But we won't see things like suspension damage and things like that from the external shot unless the car is just not steering right. Then that tends to be fairly obvious. And Lubomir Moritz has chosen now to bring his car in, a Ricart's sim car from 14th position. In he comes. So I think it's the top 10 or so that have yet to see the pit lane. And there's one of the Mecha all 4 sim cars of Krecha. So we haven't seen a great deal of him so far, but it's making his, it's minding his own business there in 6th position at the moment, with is that Danda that's not too far behind, about a second, 2 seconds or so behind him. The second electric car of Alesh Danda. Again, like you said earlier, really is a day for the newcomers. The new guys really showing that they have got exactly what it takes to make the establishment work for it.
We heard that the rookies, we had heard rumblings that these rookies were quite experienced in iRacing and that, we were really in for a show. And clearly that has proven to be absolutely true. I got to say, Krecha is putting in the exact performance that I would personally be hoping for, which is a solid points haul and quiet as well too. You know what I mean? Basically the opposite of Kujela, where you're just battling non-stop for the entire race for 1 or 2 points. I mean, Kujela is working hard for the points that he is attempting to pick up. So Kovarik there in the VR Victoria and Dexfin car, looking good. A little bit quiet. Oh, and the pit lane is a busy old place here as we hit the rapidly approach the 15-minute mark here of the opening round of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP. It's been an absolutely incredible race. We know we're very, very intimate with Imola and how difficult it can be to overtake. It's an interesting track, and it's a tough place to kick things off. But it's sort of a VGP staple, and it provides unique challenges for the drivers, and that's exactly what we have seen today. Is those unique challenges coming to the fore, and these drivers really having to deal with the pressure that goes along with it. And when they do go side by side, it is really, really intense because it's just so narrow, and there's so few opportunities. You know, you said it yourself, Chris, earlier, that really the prime way to pick up positions here is to just wait for a mistake. That is the #1 way to pick up positions in this race here at Imola. And we've seen that the drivers that stay clean and can identify when there's that problem up ahead, those are the ones that have been picking up the most positions. Oh, a couple more cars into the pits.
Yeah, indeed. I think it was pretty much just the top 4 that perhaps hadn't seen the pit lane. I think everybody else has now.
Yep.
Yeah, the pit lane is still very, very busy. So I would imagine that all 4 of the top 4 guys will come back out in the same positions they went in. So I don't really think any of them's running any damage, unless someone's forgotten to turn off the tyre change option. We've seen that happen before. Didn't Eric Vizzi lose Indianapolis last year, or I'm sure it was, he lost a race that he was deemed set to win because he forgot to uncheck the change tyre option. I'm sure that happened. I seem to remember Eric Vizzi doing that, or somebody definitely did that.
Sounds familiar.
But just that, all that proves is, yeah, even the greats make mistakes, as out they come again. Oh, but Nadlik is right on the back of Lucas Pachada. They were 2.5 seconds apart coming into the pits. Nadlik has done an absolutely storming pit stop here. I was just looking at the front right. Is there damage to Nadlik's car? You can't tell from that camera angle. Sometimes the livery actually hides it, so it's difficult to tell. But Nadlik now right on the tail of Lucas Pachada. Lucas won't like that too much. Yeah. He did have a bit of a lead. And but what I suspect there is that Lucas may have been a little slow getting to his pit box, so maybe he either broke too soon or had to back up. I suspect it was the former. He just didn't quite hit his marks, and Nadlik may have got them absolutely nailed. Either way, Martin Nadlik in the Benzina car now all over the back of Lucas Pachada. We know how quick the ERT Racing veteran is. Let's see if he can pull away from this immense pressure now being piled on by the 88 car.
Unbelievable. So close between the two of them. And yeah, that is just a little bit of damage there on Nadlik's car. It's very easy to damage the bonnet. Of course, the bonnet is one of the largest pieces of the bodywork, and yeah, it's really easy to deform that. It's one of the first things probably to get deformed, unless you get hit from behind, in which case you're much more likely to see the rear wing just be slightly askew. But we're on board with the Benzina Orland driver coming out of the final corner and down towards the start-finish straight. We've got just under 12 minutes still to go in this race, and this is looking much closer for the lead of this race than we've seen so far. And I just wonder if that's a problem for Pachada, or if Nadlik has found some pace, or if he's just been waiting to pounce this entire time. You know, it's difficult to get. It's a scary thing to get inside the mind of a racing driver, but we do try to do it from time to time. And there you can see the focus from Lucas Pachada in that ERT Racing car. Another great livery. I know we've said it already. All of the cars look great this season, but I think I would put the ERT near the top. The Pachada brothers had a great livery last season as well too. So clearly they've been getting pretty lucky actually with the schemes that they've been running. But the Entropic has really stolen my heart this season, if I'm being honest, when it comes to the paint schemes. I just really like that kind of teal highlight around the eyes and the headlight, or I said eyes, the headlights and the vents and all that kind of stuff. It does kind of look like eyes a little bit. Oh, yeah. So close again for Nadlik. He is looking so aggressive now, and I do wonder if he is possibly thinking about an overtake now after maybe just running most of the race, just, you know, happy to be in second. Now he's pushing.
+1 on the Entropic livery as well for me.
Yeah,
that one,
real beauty.
It's an absolute stunner. Plus the, you know, not to give too much away, but the golden arches on there is also a +1 for me. Also, you know, much appreciated using the English terminology there of bonnet.
Yep.
When,
yep.
Good man. I'll return the favour. Yep, that hood is dented. But, oh, look at that. Lucas had a great run off of Ravazza there, and that has put another couple of tenths in between himself and Nadlik. And that damage, whilst may not be particularly heavy, is not going to be helping him. Whilst he is still on the slipstream, again, he's done that a few times. He's just taken those apexes a little bit hard, and those, as you can see, those little kind of sausage curves in the middle of those apexes are not friendly at all. As Thomas currently piling the pressure on Alish Danda for 7th position. Great actually race for the electric car. Another one of our rookies. Once again, here we go. That gap didn't last long. It lasted as long as Tozer, which is about 7 corners, as Nadlik is doing his best to close in. But just Nadlik's a little bit more loose. He's just not keeping his composure as well as Lucas Brachada. Of course, Lucas, we all know Lucas Brachada has been with the series a long time, as Lehman now has come in to serve his pit stop in the Mecha All-Force Sim car. Oh, lovely fight here. That is for, is that for 11th, I think it is? Yep, that is Thomas Prohaska, Thomas Horror, and Eric Vizzi. Oh, is the Lenovo Legion car trying to take a double here? I mean, yep, that would be suicide if you tried that down at Piratella. But he's, I mean, in fairness to Eric, he's still hanging on in there, doing what he can now up to 13th position. But yeah, you pointed out earlier, just the amount of time he lost behind Kari's. Was it Prohaska he lost time behind?
Sikora?
No, it was Jan Sikora, beg your pardon. Yeah, so once again he finds himself behind a TP Link car with a big shock in the middle for good measure as well.
And I gotta say, in Eric Vizzi's defense, part of what makes him such a good driver is also what makes him possibly not so great at forcing his way through the midfield. You know what I mean? That consistency and just keeping himself together and all that kind of stuff. He's a very kind of level-headed driver. I think sort of like a Mika Hakkinen sort of driver, and maybe that's not ideal for barging your way through the midfield after being relegated down at the back. You can see he's got some pretty hefty defending going on here with the big shot car. He's trying to find an inside line, an outside line. He'll take any line he can get, but there are no lines available for Eric Vizzi. There's just nowhere for him to go, and unfortunately, just another section of corners where he's going to have to be happy with that 13th position. Now, let's say he does get ahead of Hora. Oh, he's going to try for a lunge. He does manage to get the nose alongside. He is going to be side by side at the exit, but does Hora have the exit he needs? He does. He gets the better exit. He finds the inside line for the left-hander, and that's surely going to mean that he's going to be able to hold on to that position. Yes. Now, the good news for Vizzi here, though, is due to that battling, Hora is going to have less of a slipstream effect off of Prohaska in the TP link up ahead. So Vizzi may be just kind of disrupting Hora enough in order to give himself the slipstream he needs to make that overtake into turn 2 into Tamburello on the following lap. Time will only tell, but I mean, if he does get past Prohaska here, he's got about 4 seconds up to Jan Rieger in 10th position. Only 6 minutes of racing to go, so yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say 11th is probably the best that Vizzi is going to be able to manage here for the opening round, which is really, really frustrating for somebody who was a championship contender last year.
He was indeed. He was one of the few that actually put Simon Kovarik under pressure. And on a semi-regular basis, certainly towards the end of the season, we saw great. He was quick out of the box, and we just saw that's a steady improvement from Eric Vizzi as we now see this battle come down towards Trigado once again. Whoa, Thomas Ryan's gone to the outside now. Eric Vizzi just needs to bide his time. He's got one. Whoa, no, it was a little bit early going towards the apex. And that was Prohaska that had to kind of bail on that one, side by side again, coming down towards the Villeneuve chicane. No, Eric Vizzi thinks better of that one. He's going to size up a move coming into Tozer on a thought, but they've both had an equal run out of the chicane. Once again, side by side to Tozer. I mean, we saw big moves from the big shot car last lap around at this point. Here comes the TP Link car. It didn't go very far behind as Prohaska. But yeah, I think you're right. 11th is realistically the best that Eric Vizzi can hope for. But this battle is by no means resolved. These three have still got it all to do before the checkered flag falls.
Vizzi is pushing very, very hard to make sure that he gets that 11th place. And then maybe what he could do is try to pick up the fastest lap, because with all that clear air, up ahead of Thomas Hora. He could be on for a great push to try and pick up the fastest lap. Again, he does have a little bit of damage to that Lenovo Legion car, so maybe he's not within a shot, but you know, he's certainly going to have a better chance of picking up the fastest lap in front of the big shot car than he will behind. But let's see what Thomas Hora has got. We've seen some incredible defending ahead of Eric Vizzi all race long. It seems that anybody that shows up ahead of Eric Vizzi came to fight. They woke up and chose violence, and they are ready. They are not prepared to just let Eric Vizzi through. They don't care if he was battling for wins last year. They don't care at all. Look at this. Thomas Hora wants to hang on to that 11th place position. He's going to stay to the inside, going to force Eric Vizzi to the outside as they get to the heavy braking zone, but no, he can't quite stay alongside. He's going to hope for a better run through the chicanes here, and he's going to hope to maybe try and put some pressure onto the big shot car into the next left-hander. No, he's not going to be close enough for that. Switching to the battle for second position, and yeah, that's actually Matoshek right behind for second position, and look at that, Nadlik has fallen off. He's 1.5 seconds behind Lucas Pichata.
Yeah, that's been growing a little bit lap on lap. Lucas Pichata's got back into his groove. I think Lucas probably knew he had that just a little bit more pace over Martin Nadlik, whether that's damage orientated or just raw pace or whatever it is. I think Lucas has just got all the confidence he needs just to do what he needs to do to keep himself in that all-important #1 spot. But Matuszek has, of course, got it all to prove, and he's closing in on Nadlik once again over the line. Just 3 minutes to go of what's been an absolutely storming. I'm pretty sure we've said this once or twice last season and pretty much every season we've done, quite frankly. But our drivers never disappoint. They really don't. Pretty much every race we do, we end up screaming away. And we can see why. And each year the standard just keeps being maintained. Oh no! Just like talk about standards, Thomas Hora has had a huge incident. Not 100% sure where that is. I'm assuming that's down at Ravazza.
I think so.
It's either Ravazza or it's Trigado.
No,
that's Ravazza. So he's gone miles off the road. And oh goodness me, that's a huge shame for Thomas Hora. But I mean, that was so far off the road. I'm inclined to think there was an impact there. But well, there's the commentator curse creeping in again. So just talk about how the standard's been maintained, and a huge mistake from the big shot car. Is as much of a shame as it is a mistake. But yeah, the driving standards is generally very high in the season, and has certainly being maintained. Other than, you know, we did have that first lap incident, yes, but with this many new people, I'm not entirely surprised. What happened to Thomas Hora? Was he hit from behind? I would say he was, and there he goes. To be that far into the dust, then he had to have been helped, because unless he forgot which brake pedal was, or he had some kind of brake failure. But yeah, he was clouted pretty hard there, unfortunately. Here we go again, Nadlik versus Matuszek on the final, well, starting the final lap of the race. Is going to be now or never, do or die for the Entropic car. And what a run he's had on Martin Nadlik, but it's not going to be quite enough to get that one done down into Chicago. Oh my goodness me, that is very close. Matuszek is really going to have to force the issue.
That is 3 championship points just ahead of him, and that is no small amount. 3 championship points could be absolutely massive come the end of the season. And you know, just because Lucas Pichata is leading by 2.8 seconds at the end of this race does not mean that things can't turn around. I mean, as you said it yourself, Chris, it was an absolutely crazy start to this race. I think a lot of people dusted off a lot of cobwebs, and maybe with the first race jitters and all that kind of stuff kicking off. So we can only guess where this is going to go, but it's been a great day for the veteran Lucas Pichata. Not so much for his brother David Pichata, but it is looking like it is going to be a victory for ERT Racing in the opening round of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP. What a way to kickstart this season. Will we see Matuszek, a rookie, take the second place, or will we see another rookie, Nadlik, take the second place finish here at the end of the race? Just a handful of corners still to go for this pairing. Up ahead, Lucas Pichota, again, unchallenged as it stands right now. Matoshek all over the back, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough unless there's an absolutely terrible exit for Nadley coming out of the final corner. But no, it looks like he is going to keep everything pointing in the right direction, and it's a win at Imola for Lucas Pichota and ERT Racing for the opening round of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Virtual GP. Well-deserved, lights to flag victory, pole position. He looked so comfortable out there, but not dominant. We're going to be in for a heck of a season, especially with all these rookies. Sirotech as well. Not really somebody we saw battling too much for the top 5 finishes last year, but here in 2021, he picks up a top 5 finish in the opening round. His teammate, Thomas Corrady, not that far behind, just 6 seconds behind, picking up a 7th place finish as well. The 2 electric cars as well, finishing in the top 10. What a great start for a rookie team there as well. Senol driving for Electra for the first time ever after changing teams. He's driving for a different team this year compared to last year, and Eric Vizzi does indeed get that 11th place finish that we had talked about. We said that was probably going to be the most likely place for him to finish, and indeed he does pick up that 11th place, so that is going to be some haul of points for him. Stepanovsky picking up some points as well in 14th position. I'm sure he's going to be thinking what could have been. He's going to be hoping for better races in the future, no doubt about it.
And we look forward to seeing it every step of the way, every wheel turn, every door bang, and we will be there to cover it. Oh, Jan Sikora is heading home for this final car over the line.
And what a podium it was. Huge congratulations to Pichota, Nadlik, and Matoshek. Again, we got 2 rookies on the podium. Absolutely incredible stuff. Really, really great. Great to see Entropic as well with an incredible result for them as well. 3rd and 4th, that's going to be 31 championship points. Really, really impressive stuff. Fastest lap going to Martin Nadlik, actually, in 2nd position. So he's going to pick up 21 points instead of the traditional 20, thanks to that fastest lap of 142.567. And you can see Peter Krzyzela, the final points scorer for Benzina as well. So both Benzinas actually in the points. Again, David Pichota, the driver that went out right at the beginning, he's going to be hoping for a better result next time out for sure.
So the championship standings, well, of course, as Justin explained, that's the fastest lap going to Martin Nadlik, keeping that gap of just 4 points between himself and Pichota. Matuszek and Prod Starter starting Entropic's journey through VGP in a brilliant style with the 3rd and 4th. Sirotech 5, Krecha, great effort there in 6th position for the new team. There's lots of changes throughout the field. You know, some a little bit unlucky, and Seeker not doing so well, sadly, this time around, but plenty to play for. And there it is, Entropic, starting at the top of the tree, 6 points ahead of ERT. Benzina 3rd, he's at 4th, Electra 5. So, yeah, I mean, 3 new teams in the top 5. Brilliant stuff. Then Mecha Alpha Sim, E-Racing in 6th.
VR Victoria and Dexfin yet to score points, but I imagine that will be changing very, very soon. They'll get some points on the board in no time. I want to thank all of you for watching. Thanks to Chris for joining me, and thanks to the VGP team for another fantastic broadcast. We'll see you next time for our only night race of the season at Daytona. Goodbye.